This is Mick, Elliott, Embedded World, and I am with Nigel Watts, who is here with Searching for Silicon and Trailing Edge Technologies. Nigel, first of all, can you just talk us through those two companies and exactly what they're doing?
Yeah, hi Mick, good morning. I started Trailing Edge 15 months ago as a specialist representative for obsolescent and end-of-life semiconductor products, and the representation of Flip Electronics, who are an obsolete specialist out of Atlanta in Georgia. And obviously in the last 15 months that's been much sought after due to the changing in world politics, and not saying that's a great thing, but it's very good for the market and very good for Flip, so that's gone extremely well. Searching for Silicon is quite a departure in that it's not a representative organisation in any way. It's actually what we call a digital demand creation engine, and it's using AI in order to establish contact, nurture contact, and take opportunities found and developed, whether that be a design or a fulfillment opportunity, to market. And it works as a program. It's called IdentifyAI, and it works for both Trailing Edge and Searching for Silicon. So it's a vehicle that can actually be applied across both and to any of the partners that we currently represent. So yeah.
Okay, I think just backtracking slightly on Searching for Silicon, and what you're proposing is it gives design engineers a broader choice of how they approach their project and where they get their information from, and flexibility about where they get their information.
That's exactly right. And at the front end of it, on the manufacturer side of it, which I think is as important, the semiconductor manufacturers, gaining access to new contacts and new customers is becoming increasingly difficult. IdentifyAI actually solves that problem in the way that it uses AI to find these contacts, make contact with them, establish contact, and then gain their interest in the products that we're promoting. Yeah.
Okay, so can you just talk us through IdentifyAI and how that works?
Yeah, sure. It's an AI algorithm, developed it with a third-party organisation. We've white-labelled it, and IdentifyAI is our white-label version of it. And effectively what it does, we'll start a campaign on behalf of our partners, and it will go into native LinkedIn, for instance, and other social media, based on criteria we set it and information we give it, something as simple as a POS report that doesn't contain any personal details because of GDPR regulations, etc. And it goes through the process of identifying matches for the product being sold and the companies in that market segment or segments, and then generating contacts with which we then connect via media. And from that, the campaign starts by actually introducing them to more and more of the products and concepts of whether it be Flip and what Flip does and the services it provides, or a product being developed by a semiconductor manufacturer finding a new market or new customers within the market. It really doesn't matter. The actual product itself doesn't matter. It's where we focus it in terms of the customer and the markets that they're contained within. And from that it generates a significant list of new contacts that are then nurtured through the channels of the distributors of the manufacturers, or indeed with Flip, we do that work because we're the representatives for Flip in EMEA.
Using IdentifyAI, I believe you can create an organic live contact database. Can you tell us how that comes about?
Yeah, in fact, absolutely we can. And how it's derived is that from every campaign that we operate for individual partners, that generates a unique contact list of its own. We summate all of that into a unified contact database that's growing all the time at the rate of 4,000 to 5,000 contacts a month. Now, imagine that over a 1-2 year period, we're now getting up into six figures. And the difference between that, for those of us that can remember the traditional mailing lists, where we knew that 20 to 25% of that had long since gone, because it's live and connected with social media especially, whether it be business or personal, that contact remains active in its current state. What I mean by that is, if someone moves position, moves companies, that's reflected in the database. So it's always 100% up to date with the contact's current status, which for lines makes, or for manufacturers, makes it really relevant because they're talking to the right person on the right thing at the right time. And by creating this very large contact database, what we then end up doing is being able to provide services that we can cut and dice that database any way the manufacturer wants, whether they want a specific white paper to go to 55 people or they want to broadcast a general market status condition, for instance the memory market right now, to all 200,000 contacts, and betwixt and between. So from the original generation of a set of contact leads that are themselves relevant for that particular broadcast to the growth of a unique contact organic database, the whole process of IdentifyAI is it's a concept to completion solution.
Okay, and can you give us an example of how IdentifyAI has identified a contact and how that process works through a live example, maybe with one of your suppliers?
Yeah, I mean, this is all relatively new. We piloted it since January, so we're in mid-March now, and already we've made nearly 4,500 contacts from it. And one specific example, obviously the manufacturer needs to remain anonymous for a moment, but they're in the thermal management business. They sent us a very edited POS report because things for GDPR reasons need to be left out. We took that, we put it through IdentifyAI into the market, and we, out of I think it was 113 customers in total, we generated 982 contacts. But then we found the real benefit of it, and that is what the AI piece did was then go further into the ether, the cloud, and looked at the original companies and then profiled others that looked like them and delivered the same information and message to the same profile people within those companies who then reacted positively to it. So instead of getting something in the region of 300 to 400 contacts from the original POS, we ended up with 982. That excites people because in the day and age that we operate today, establishing relationships with new contacts and new customers has become increasingly difficult for reasons we all understand. IdentifyAI actually is one solution to that. It won't be the only one by any means. There'll be other people bringing similar models to market, I'm sure. But very importantly, and that is that media companies can probably do this, but you've got to have the ability to contact the customer and be able to provide the service to the customer in the way that they want it provided. And if you can't complete that circle, it's only half a job. So the media piece is important, the contact's important, but being able to support the product and the companies as partners to the customer the way the customer wants to receive the information or the end product is crucial.
Okay, Nigel Watts, thank you very much.
Thank you.